I thought in the second half, I thought early in the first half we did really well. I thought the second half we were better. We got on the front foot more. We know with Gotham they really like to stretch you. I felt that we dealt with that well. We made a little adjustment at half-time that I felt got us on the front foot more. And that could open up space behind us, but I felt we dealt with that pretty well. Disappointed on the goal, set-piece goals are always brutal. And just so unfortunate on the deflection. I think if it doesn't hit Jordan, Claudia probably saves it. But, you're not going to tell anyone not to try and put their body on the line to try and stop the ball going in the net. So little things I think we can work on, but I said to the players at the end of the game, I'm not sure we'd have come out of that game last year with a point. I think we'd have probably given something away. I thought the subs were great when they came on, impacted positively. And I said to the group at the end, I think our growth is that we can make some in-game changes and it doesn't detract from us, it actually makes us better. And I think that's a real testament to pre-season and just having a good foundation that we've been talking about a lot. So we want to make here a fortress. I think with a little bit more time, a little bit more of playing with each other and getting those little quality points right on the ball, we could have created more chances. But overall, cagey, not a ton of end-to-end stuff, but yeah, I thought it was pretty even, which we were not even with them a year ago.
All right, we'll take Bella and then Jeff over here in the front.
First, wanted to ask about Jess taking corner kicks, because in the 5 seasons I've covered this team, I don't think I've seen Jess take a corner kick. So
I've coached her for 13 years and not seen it, so.
Could you just tell us a little bit about that decision, if that's going to continue this season?
Yeah, honestly, I think, Soph and Lou were a big penalty taker group last year. Emery can definitely take them. But outside of those 3, Jess is probably the next best. And her, we scored off a goal in Coachella off a corner. Her deliveries have been really good. And we want to find some consistency in that because we know we can be a threat with the players that we have inside the box.
And then on Emery's goal, I know you normally black out during goals.
Mm-hmm.
But
I did watch it back because they were saying it was handball, and I was like, on them or us?
It was sort of a handball on them and then not on you guys. Mm-hmm. But what did you see from that? And particularly, are you excited about that? Because I feel like there were a lot of those chances, melees in front of goal last season, where it went over, it went wide, and this one went in the back of the net.
Yeah, very pleased. I thought Coco did really well in the initial part of it. And then Emery and Jordan were around to keep it alive. I had no idea it scored. As we know, I black out. But then I did watch it back and saw it was Emery. So, just really happy. Berger's an excellent goalkeeper. I felt that some of our crosses tonight, we let her be able to claim them really easily. That was one where she came and she couldn't quite get there, and we were able to solve it. And they're the little bits of quality I think we have to get better at. We put, I think it said 16 crosses into the box, and that was probably the best one. So I think we need to just focus in on those little bits. But yeah, you're right. I think last year, I think it's 2 parts, right? And I'm a big believer of this. Is sometimes you need a bit of luck, and we didn't get any of that last year. So I'll take that tonight.
Defensively, you just had that one deflection that went in. But overall, how did you feel your back 4 and Claudia played, given the pressure they were under and that you went behind and had to push forward?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we've always given ourselves a chance on is we defend as a unit. We don't rely on our back 4 to solve things for us. And in my opinion, for us to be successful, we have to be that way. If we expose our backline all the time, you're not going to win games. And I felt in the first half we exposed them too much. I felt in the second half we did a much better job of that. And then their job, if we don't expose them, is when things come near them that they deal with it. And I thought we did a much better job in the second half of protecting the backline. And then I thought they did a good job of dealing with things in the moment. And like you said, we didn't give them too much. I think Esther in the first half got in behind us and Phoebe recovered. And there was one in the second half where I think we gave the ball away and Claudia had to make a save. if I'm getting this right, it's a miracle by me. But yeah, I can't remember too many times where our backline really got exposed, and I think that's credit to them and also the rest of the team.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
You had a few debuts tonight for the Reign. Maddie Darlene straight into the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Curry gets her first minutes with the team.
Yeah.
And Meza finally gets her NWSL debut. Can you talk about how they did tonight and going forward?
Yeah, I mean, Maddie Darlene has been brilliant in pre-season and deserved the opportunity to start tonight. I said to her that little chance she had in the first half where she broke away, I think the thing she's got to get used to is not many people are as quick as her. So she crossed it, and I was like, no one's going to be there, mate, because they're not as fast as you. Hopefully when Lynn's back, there'll be someone who can keep up with her a little bit. But you saw tonight what she brings. She's a pressing machine. She's dynamic. She's fast. She's direct. And, you know, there's so much ceiling left for her in her growth. So really happy for Maddie Curry. Just seamless. It's been a seamless transition from the minute she started training with us in pre-season. And yeah, really happy for Sammy. You know, I think when you're dealing with young players and the decision is that they need to go and play and get minutes, you always hope that they come back in a better place than they left. And she's a prime example of that. She came in pre-season this year, determined, ready, physically better, mentally better, and deserved her opportunity tonight.
All right, next we'll take Andy over
I
here.
like all your credentials. They look great. Really professional.
Laura, I think Maddie Curry's played all over the back line, both fullback spots, center back.
Yeah.
What makes right back the right spot for her, and do you see her continuing there going forward?
I think she can play both sides. I think, obviously, we've got Hannah Glass, we've got Emily Mason, who can also play. Hannah can play both sides. Mason mainly more on the right. And then we've got Sophia and Lily, who also can play left and right. So I think right now, with what we'd seen in pre-season, Maddie and Shay felt like the right pairing for tonight. But you guys know me, I probably will tweak it a little bit occasionally, depending on what we need. So yeah, that's the thing about Maddie Curry that I've loved ever since the day that there was a conversation about potentially bringing her in, is she is flexible and can play in multiple positions. And you saw tonight she hasn't played right back a lot in the pros, but she obviously can do it, which you saw tonight.
And then the decision to kind of drop Jess back into
Yeah.
defensive midfield. What do you like about that look? Is that something that you see continuing?
Yeah, I think obviously Olo picked up a little niggle after the UW game and wasn't quite ready to be around today. And Ainsley's super young, right? So when games are tight and we don't really have anyone else outside of Olo and Ainsley who could play as a holder, but we wanted to get a little bit more dynamicness higher up the field, and Mercado's been, her development pathway's been great. So just trying to get someone else up there, and Jess knows what to do back there. And obviously then when they had their players sent off, we thought we could go a little bit, and Sammy can give us a little bit more legs with that.
And then last one, obviously Lynn unavailable today. Do you have a timeline for her, and how do you envision her fitting into this attack after game one?
I don't have a timeline other than to say I think it's day to day, to be honest. I don't think we've got North Carolina's completely out the question. It may be too soon because we're flying. We're going out there. I don't know, but she's definitely turned a really good corner over the last couple of days, and I'm very conscious that it's a long season, right? Like, I don't want to rush her back and then it get worse and then if she's out for weeks. So it is day to day. She's so much better than she was a week ago. And hopefully, I hope it's tomorrow. So, but I'm trying to be a little bit realistic too.
Okay, we'll take Grant and then just a couple on Zoom.
Coach, you mentioned the impact of the substitutes.
Yeah.
You mentioned Coco Mondesir's impact on the goal.
Excellent.
What did you see from Mondesir today specifically?
Yeah, I thought Coco was excellent when she came on. Again, another one that's been brilliant in pre-season. Come in, really fit, really healthy, really strong. And you just saw what she can do, right? And I think the reality of this league and just the pros now, right, with 5 subs and all the little tweaks and changes of how it rolls, we want to press and we want to press for 90 minutes. So to be able to have that, there's no way our front 3 can do that on their own. So when Lynn's fit, we have 6 of them who can rotate in and out of who's going to start, who's going to come off the bench. You saw tonight Anna starting, Coco coming off the bench. We may feel next week it's a flip of that, right? Like, I think that's the piece that we're trying to help the players in educating, because everyone wants to start all the time, right? Of like, the role that you guys can play coming off the bench can win us games. And Coco tonight, I thought, was a real game changer in regards to the threat that we had on the right. It was just, she's just different to Anna, right? So, so happy for her. And when that tackle went in, I was like, oh God. But she's uber strong, very, very technical, and is now physically in a much better place to give more than maybe she could coming in halfway last year. So really excited for her moving forward.
All right, we'll take Brad Lake here on Zoom.
Hi, Coach Brad from Twish. I was asking the ladies about their composure on the field in the second half. Could you speak to your team's composure tonight, and also what lessons can they take away from the match?
Yeah, I thought we had a bit more composure in the second half. I think one of the things that we knew coming into this game was the way Gotham defends. You've got to move the ball quickly, but you've got to move it with quality. And I felt we did that better in the second half. Still areas that we can improve on. But as much as it was about composure, I think it was about mentality of, you know, making sure that even though we were pushing and we were going for it, that we were still solid behind the ball. And didn't give them anything really easy. So it's like that fine balance of showing some composure, showing some quality, but also making sure that we are solid and make sure we don't give too much up to the opponent.
All right, thank you, Coach.
No worries.
We're going to have Charles here just to close this out.
Just wanted to ask you about the crowd tonight. Obviously, the weather in the beginning was
crazy.
not great, but
Yeah.
it seemed like you had a good crowd. How did you feel about that, seeing them back to begin the season?
Yeah, I mean, I've said this the whole time we've been at Lumen, and me before that, but it's always so loud for me, and I'm probably the furthest person away from the crowd. And, you know, you could tell that probably my emotions around the ref, the crowd were feeling, and we're vocal about it, and they can be, I can't be. And we need that, you know, we need that we're so thankful that people can come out in in horrendous conditions and support us. And we're really happy that we could put on a show to give the fans something around what mentality this group's got. Even though we may not have shown all the qualities that we know we have, there's still more to come. But if you love a gritty, hard-working, never-say-die team, and you're that type of fan, you'll have been here tonight, and we hope to see you again and bring your mate.